What's going on, everybody? AHS Rules backing in with another video, and in today's video I will be talking about matchups I would like to see in the 2023 NBA playoffs. This video is mainly inspired by this past Sunday. Yes, I'm making this on Monday, but Sunday we had a lot of epic games take place. The Sunday primetime, or the Sunday showcase is what they call it. Some were primetime, obviously, and two of them felt like big time playoff matchups, and I'll get to those. Those will be the first two that I talk about. So in this video, the main thing with this, as y'all know me, I'm a wrestling fan. If you don't know me, subscribe to my channel and you can learn more, but I'm a big wrestling fan. And so this is kind of a fantasy booking or a dream scenario booking simulation that I have kind of like set up, where I'm not mentioning the complete tournament. It's just like matchups I would like to see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matchups I'd like to see take place during the playoffs. Now, obviously, not all of these can take place. I have listed where I would imagine these matchups would take place in. And obviously, sadly, some teams are not mentioned. Sorry, Nuggets, but I like the Nuggets enough. Y'all don't really need like a specific matchup. So, like I said, this video is mainly inspired by the two big games that we saw take place yesterday. So, let's start with the first one, the thumbnail of the video. The Dallas Mavericks and the Phoenix Suns. Like I said, I'm going to talk a lot. I'm going to be comparing it a lot like it was wrestling. And these two have a lot of beef. These two teams have a lot of beef. Now, what's very weird is that these teams look a lot different than when we saw them in the playoffs last year. Obviously, these two teams went to 7 games in the second round in last year's playoffs, which ended in a massive blowout by the Dallas Mavericks at home for Phoenix. Phoenix had to look themselves in the mirror and they're like, we want a massive change. And then also someone else got embarrassed in the playoffs and wanted a new change. And that was Kevin Durant. And then obviously he requested his trade in the offseason. Listed that he wanted to go to the Suns. So it's kind of been like a tease that he was going to the Suns, just like a wrestling comparison is like Sting teased in joining the New World Order back in the day. But it didn't happen, and then it did, thanks to his friend Kyrie Irving, who got traded to the Dallas Mavericks. So there's a lot of interesting keys to this series and to this matchup. The main one, you would think the main one would be Kyrie and KD playing against each other. The two friends that were just literally on the same team playing against each other. No. The two keys now are Devin Booker and Luka Doncic. Now, I don't know, like if they were literally in the same place eating dinner, I don't think they would like go up to each other and just start fighting. But I definitely do not think they like each other. There's a lot of yapping going on. One thing that I like about Luka is that he's straightforward with it. He only really got mad at Booker talking. He is just like me. Like when I played 2K. He is just like me. And he said the quote, he's like, y'all can talk. Y'all can please talk. But please talk the whole time. And don't wait till there's 3 seconds left. Which is kind of what he said about Booker. And it's kind of... Booker talks a lot. But if Luka felt that he was only talking during that time period, I don't think he'd be lying about it. So, like I said, keep that same energy. Insert that Michael Jordan meme with the baseball bat. That I live for that. But this would be a perfect matchup in the playoffs. And it is very reasonable we get this in the first round. Because right now, Dallas is at 7. Phoenix is at 4. But we all know the Western Conference is very crazy. And that this is going to end up being 4 or 5. The Suns, however, probably going to get a lot better. But right now, there's a 3-game separation between them and 3. So, it's a bit of a stretch, but like I said, this matchup could still take place. It mainly needs to happen because these two teams do not like each other. Now, a very similar situation and another massive game that took place yesterday was the New York Knicks and the Boston Celtics. And I actually enjoy watching the New York Knicks play now. I know 2 years ago they had the playoff run and it ended terribly, to be fair. The same thing could happen this year. But at least they have Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson, I think, has really changed this team. Now, Julius Randle, I kind of owe an apology. I'm not a Julius Randle hater, but I'm definitely not a supporter and not going out of my way just to watch Julius Randle stuff. But his step back 3, I don't understand how it has become such a dangerous move, but it is. So I want to give him my props. And like I said, the Knicks are rolling. They are on a 9-game win streak at the moment, and they have beat the Celtics twice during that span. And the Celtics, who looked like a once-dominant team, like I said, just got beat twice by the Knicks. And these are two massive, historic franchises, and we just saw this double OT game. And the main thing is, like I said, the Celtics have been dominant, and you kind of question, can anybody beat them? Everybody's talking about the Celtics and the Bucks. Now the Knicks, I'm not going to say the Knicks are a top 2 team yet. I will not go that crazy. But it definitely has you thinking in the back of your mind, can the Celtics beat the Knicks? Right now, the Celtics are the 2 seed and the Knicks are the 5 seed. There's a lot of separation for them. Maybe we get this matchup for the second round. I don't know. I definitely think the Knicks can make it past the first round this year. I know that's not a big accomplishment to some sides, but I think for the Knicks, they would look like that would be a positive for the Knicks if they make it past the first round and then go to the second round and have a competitive series with the Celtics. Now, I got 2 other Eastern Conference matchups I would like to see. They're kind of a bit boring and not really history with both sides. But one, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Cleveland Cavaliers. This one, another one that I could see taking place in the second round because at the moment, the Bucks are the 1 seed and the Cavs are the 4 seed. The Cavs had the massive offseason of trading for Donovan Mitchell. The Bucks are kind of it's very weird that they didn't win the title last year, but a lot of people respect them and admire them as like previous title winners. And there was always that question, like, if Chris Middleton was there, they could have won it all, obviously. Now, like I said, there's not really history between these two, but I think the Cavs, I'm not going to say they have the best chance to stop Giannis, because we obviously saw the Celtics do that last year. But I think defensively, Evan Mobley and Jared Allen on Giannis will be interesting. Drew Holiday, having to choose between Garland or Mitchell, would be interesting. Like I said, I just want to see the Cavs succeed. I really like their core. In my Big 3 video that I made a couple weeks ago, or a week or 2 ago, I praised the Cavaliers so much because I said they're a rare form. They do not have a Big 3. They have 2 dynamic duos. So, like I said, I'm just kind of singing the praises of the Cavs, and I just want to really see them in the second round. Like I said, there's not really a storyline aspect to it, but it is what it is. And then last Eastern Conference matchup that I will mention, the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Brooklyn Nets. Now, this one would have had a great storyline if we were talking about this a month ago because of the James Harden, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving trade. But now that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are not there, it kind of lost a lot of luster and fire, so it's not as interesting. And also, Ben Simmons, kind of I hate to say it, but a non-factor for the Nets at the moment. But this Nets team, I've said it several times in several videos, very reminiscent to the 2019 Nets, who also faced the Philadelphia 76ers in the first round. And I think this team could ruffle some feathers. We're seeing Mikal Bridges extend to I'm not going to say superstardom, but I love Mikal Bridges. So I will say extending to superstardom and having crazy performances. He does have, I'm not going to say he has beef with the Sixers, but they drafted him and then didn't want him. And that looks like a big L. Talked about that in my Philadelphia 76ers video. But like I said, there's some beef with this. And it's just kind of like, I want to see the Nets. It's very much like the Cavaliers. I want to see them succeed. And I think this would not be an easy matchup for the 76ers. I will admit, the one difficulty is probably Nick Claxton on Joel Embiid. I know that Nick Claxton has had a great defensive year, but I feel Joel Embiid will foul bait him a ton. Now we get to the Western Conference. Like I said, I already talked about the Mavericks and Suns. I have 3 others that I thought of off the top of my mind, and these first 2 are in the play-in, which is, like I said, would be a one-off, but I consider the play-in the playoffs. Now this is a funny one. This is a hilarious one. The Los Angeles Lakers versus the Los Angeles Clippers. So it's the 2020 offseason. We wanted to see a playoff battle between these 2 teams, and it just hasn't happened. Whether it was the Clippers crapping the bed in the bubble, the Lakers crumbling apart in 2021. Both teams made the conference finals in back-to-back years. And then in 2022, not making the playoffs at all. Now this year, both teams have got a lot better, but are still struggling to make the playoffs. The Clippers, at the moment, are the 8th seed. The Lakers are the 11th seed. But they have the same record as the Jazz, who are the 10th seed. So at any moment, any time, the Lakers can pop up and get in that play-in spot. However, I do feel it's going to be a little bit difficult for either side to get the 6th seed, especially with the Clippers, who are making me look like idiots because I said they had the best 10-man rotation after the Russell Westbrook acquiring. To be fair, I said the Celtics had the second best, and they're on a losing streak, so I'm not really on my P's and Q's with that. But you understand what I'm saying. Lakers and Clippers, it's a rivalry that's not really a rivalry. It should be a rivalry. The Clippers have beat them like 10 straight times, I believe. And there is a big storyline aspect. That is Russell Westbrook. Now, I know it could be potentially for one game, But I think Russell Westbrook, like I said, would be on his P's and Q's, want to demolish the Lakers, and especially help the Clippers beat the Lakers. And I think that would be funny and a big notch in his belt. I'm not going to say like that's a trophy or anything, but I would love it. As a Russell Westbrook stan, I would love to see that. So, hypothetically, I would have the Clippers winning in this play-in matchup. It means the Lakers have to play again. Now, I didn't want to really put team on here twice, but I did because it was the play-in, the Lakers, and the Pelicans, who, they should have beef, but they really don't. It's mainly their fan bases have beef because the Pelicans feel they won the AD trade. The Lakers fans feel they won the AD trade because they won the title. But the Pelicans see how bad the Lakers are and how good Brandon Ingram is and how good the picks are going to be from the Lakers, that they feel that they have won the trade. You could really debate. I would say the Lakers won because they got Anthony Davis and they got a championship. But I imagine Zion. I'm going to hope and pray. I'm going to imagine that Zion is healthy for this play-in matchup. And we get the Zion-LeBron matchup that we have wanted for the longest time. I don't think they played against each other this year. I might be wrong with that. But in a playoff play-in setting, win or go home, that would be explosive and a big matchup. Now, like I said, I apologize to the Nuggets and the Kings, but because I didn't really mention them, and even though they're going to be locks for the playoffs. Like I said, I just want to see the Kings in the playoffs. The Kings are going to be a fun playoff team to watch because the fans have already been packing the arena in the regular season. In the playoffs, which they have not seen in 16-ish years, they're going to be loud and proud. So the Kings, I want to see them against anybody. The Nuggets, I like the Nuggets. I don't really have anything extra to say about the Nuggets, but they could have a tough, like, they have to face the Lakers or the Clippers in the first round. I know they have done well against those teams in the regular season. It would definitely be an interesting matchup. But the last matchup that I will talk about definitely has some bias towards it. And this would have been, I don't know. I do want to see it and I don't want to see it. The Memphis Grizzlies versus the Golden State Warriors. The main reason I want to see this happen is I want my Memphis Grizzlies to get redemption. Now, like I said, if I was talking about this like 2 days ago, I would not be as so gloom about it. But I don't know what the Grizzlies' future looks like. I potentially may be making a video about it, so I don't want to like talk too much about it. But these two sides, they have beef. The Warriors want to claim they don't have beef. Y'all got beef. Y'all go out of y'all's way to be extra against the Grizzlies because the Grizzlies, to be fair, are always extra. And I think the Grizzlies need redemption. They need to put this to rest. They had two games against the Warriors already this season. Christmas Day, which they got embarrassed, and then the game during Rivals Week is this close. They were this close to winning, and then they didn't. And I think they want that win. They need that win. And I feel if they get these wins in the regular season, and then the playoffs come around, and they don't face the Warriors, it's just going to eat them in the back of their head. So the main reason I want to see it is I want the Grizzlies to get the redemption because they're my team, obviously. And I think that this eats at them every time that they didn't beat the Warriors last year. Now, is this matchup going to happen? Who really knows? I definitely don't want to see it in the first round. The second round, it was crazy last year. I don't know. Like the Warriors, I don't have a clue where they're going to end up. I imagine they're not going to be in the play-in. I'd love to see them in the play-in because the play-in teams normally struggle in the playoffs. But I don't really know where this matchup is going to take place. But obviously, again, like I've said, with a lot of these storylines and matchups, there's history and there's beefs. So these are matchups that I want to see take place in the 2023 NBA playoffs. There's some teams that I didn't mention. Sorry, but I think these have the most, in wrestling terms that I'm comparing it to, have the most storylines and beef and animosity and history. So I just wanted to share them out there. And like I said, I was mainly influenced by the great games and playoff atmosphere that we experienced on Sunday's games. So, thank you for watching this video. I don't know what my next video will be. My next video, I'm 50-50 if I want to talk about the Memphis Grizzlies situation, but I feel that at some point I will. I don't know when, I don't know where. I just want to make this quick video because a lot of people were talking about the playoffs Sunday, and I'm like, there's some potential to make a video with that. So, I just did. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.